Stern was supposed to be making $5 million a year on The Voice.
You're doing that in spite of them, and I do publish in The Voice, even though they take cigarette ads, but in spite of it.
Word was his profit was $5 million a year.
Who?
At The Voice, Stern.
Oh, really?
That
On The
was what
Voice?
they used to tell us in the 90s. Yeah.
But the New York press is interesting, at least, because it has a lot of young people telling the way they see it. It has a lot of reactionary, idiotic columnists, and it has Mugger. My favorite letters, he used to print like one every month, I was saying, to the publisher or to the editor, why do you keep printing that idiot Mugger? Have you seen those letters?
No, I haven't seen them.
No, they're wonderful. He had the good humor enough to let them be printed. The idiot Mugger, of course, is the publisher and owner of the...
he likes to publish all letters.
But it makes it's a lively paper, and it's more interesting to read. And it has people like Alexander here, and I think they're hiring another left-wing... and the
David Korn.
The conservative columns are infuriating, but sometimes they present some facts that one has to pay attention to. And anyone who attacks Clinton can't be all bad.
I know. Well, my reaction, you see, I think I'm a bit like you. The first reaction was that you had to save Bill from the Puritans. We couldn't have the Puritans drive Bill out of office. On the Lewinsky thing.
Yeah.
But then the second thing I thought was that, impeachment is a very good thing. As an anarchist, you obviously think
Oh, yeah.
Every president should probably be impeached as a matter of course.
Well, I want to make a button, impeach the president, generic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't believe in a presidency. There's a dominant primate that's too dominant. He can send the atom bombs around.
But then just when you feel kindly about Bill, then he does something really disgusting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
He's such a disgusting guy.
Did you see Primer Colors movie or read the book?
I read the book.
I just saw the movie
I didn't like
last
it.
night.
What's it like?
Same as the book. I didn't think you would like it.
Well, Joe Klein's a tacky guy.
It would if you would like Clinton or be inclined to like Clinton, then it gives you all kinds of rationale for.
You see, the press always collaborate with Clinton. I remember Clinton in '92. The Jennifer Flowers thing. Now, the Jennifer Flowers story was broken in the Star, what they always refer to as a tabloid newspaper. And I remember the story very well. It was a very well reported story. The guy, I think they had a team of people. And this guy called Larry Nichols had been in the Governor Clinton administration in Arkansas, talked about Bill's girlfriend. And the reporter had gone down, they'd interviewed the doorman of Jennifer Flowers' building, they had testimony from a chauffeur driver, they had Jennifer, they had tapes. They had the guy absolutely cold. And all these reporters up there, I remember in New Hampshire, most of them wanted Bill to be president. They were all fanatically pro-Clinton people.
Yeah.
And so even though you could show them the story, you say, look, this is actually a pretty good piece of reporting. You'd be happy to do this piece of reporting. They would not read it. And they'd always refer to mere tabloid journalism. Mm-hmm. And so they let Bill get away with it.
In the
Joe
movie,
Klein.
The implication in the movie is that the tape telephone conversations, that she published or
was faked.
Was fake. That he was saying that they
took
that's what
his Joe Klein. That's what Joe Klein does in the book.
I think it's in the book too. I can't remember.
And then the last bit of the book is another interesting thing. That most of it's about this other opponent of the Clinton character.
Yeah.
Which actually is a thin disguise for Jerry Brown. Now, you see, the press always hated Brown.
Yeah.
They always say we want serious issues. Well, Brown actually does raise serious issues. I used to make fun of Jerry Brown in the '70s a lot, but actually I kind of think, looking back on it, he's actually one of the more interesting politicians who's been around.
He definitely is now.
Last 30 or 40 years. And I see him out in Oakland once in a while now. He's running for mayor. And they always hated Brown. And they hated Brown. And the New York primary of '92 is actually very interesting how badly reported it was. There was Bill, who wasn't actually doing that well at that point. And the Jennifer Flowers scandal was still cooking. His campaign financing was already coming under inspection. The Whitewater had come up. But it was written up by Jeff Gerth in the New York Times. Jeff Gerth is such a bad writer that it kind of saved Clinton because no one can understand the story. It's one of those stories that said, according to the complex financial history, and you think, oh God. Whenever you see that, you know the reporter doesn't understand it either. And then, according to the complex negotiations, which means he doesn't know, he can't be bothered to write it out. And then, Bill was beleaguered on that. He was in trouble on the draft. He was in trouble all round.
All for the wrong reasons. Who was the guy who dropped out of the primary because he was discovered?
Gary Hart.
Gary Hart.
Yeah.
I think if he would have said, I fucked her and I'm proud, he would have gotten my vote. And,
Yeah.
and you know.
Not enough.
Anyway, so and Brown actually had a pretty good program. He had that flat tax thing, which you could make progressive. All the liberals hated it, because they all have this vested interest in the so-called progressive tax system, which of course, as we know, doesn't produce anything progressive by way of results at all. And so they went after Brown, and then there was a big dirty trick. Suddenly up spring 3 or 4 California state troopers, so-called, and they say that Jerry Brown was a big coke snorter in his gubernatorial mansion. Total fix-up.
But you can blame that on Clinton?
Clinton people did it. You know who did it? It was done by the Shearer family. Derek Shearer is now ambassador to Finland. Cody Shearer, Lloyd Shearer, we used to do J. Walter Scott Personality Parade in Parade magazine. He's cooked now. He's got Parkinson's or something. But and he had these 2 sons, Derek and Cody. And Derek was under attack in '92 as being Clinton's economic guru of the left, and so they had to conceal him. And finally, they got him a job as ambassador. And Cody, he's a nasty little fixer, and he was tight with that guy Lensner.
Listen, Clinton was the guy who, and was it the first 2 weeks of his term, he had to bomb Iraq and kill a few, half a dozen or a dozen innocent people to prove that he had balls.
And so they had these dirty tricks going on, and then Brown was their trash.
Compared to that.
They're a very dirty bunch of people. I said in one of these pieces I wrote, if you compare the Nixon plumbers with the Clinton plumbers, Nixon plumbers were great. They were incredibly incompetent, and they forced Nixon from office. Gordon Liddy, remember Gordon?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
He was so incompetent that he caused Nixon to be exposed and resigned in disgrace. He himself went to Danbury prison for quite a period of time, as a matter of fact.
He
used
raided
to hold-
Tim Leary. You
Yeah.
know, he was,
Millbrook.
yeah, Millbrook. He was the
DA,
county
wasn't he the DA?
Yeah.
He was the, and then they went on a lecture tour together.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a complete nut.
Ratings and-
But put him next to a guy like Terry Lansner, who does all this investigation for Clinton. He's an amateur. Lansner doesn't leave any footprints anywhere. He's just a nasty. The Clinton people have done an awful lot of very bad things.
No, Tuli agrees with you completely.
Yeah, and our audience, I'm sure, they won't vote for him again for president, will they?
No, that's it for them.
We're telling you not to vote.
Hillary's
For him
going
for
to
president.
run next.
Who?
Hillary.
Oh,
Maybe-
wow.
Isn't it funny? Look at Hillary.
Maybe she.
In Hillary in '92, remember she made fun of Tammy Wynette,
Yeah, she's really.
the late great. And she said, I'm no Tammy Wynette standing by her man. Look at Hillary now.
Yeah.
She through thick and thin. She makes
Is
Pat
she
Nixon.
lying by her man now?
She's lying by her man. She's doing everything by. She makes Pat Nixon
Or laying?
lame. You know, say something dirty about Hillary? No.
Well, you know the latest rumor
Why?
that Bill is sleeping with, fucking Hillary. But they both deny it.